Well, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at a Walthers Proto EMD SD9 locomotive in SP scheme with the famed SP light package. So let's see what's in the box starting now. Alright, we're going to pull this open. You slide it out of the box and you have a styrofoam insert along with some paperwork. And the paperwork includes a manual going over the ESU LOKSound decoder operating in DC and DCC. Inside you'll see the DCC function mapping and configuration variable numbers. And then you have another form that has lubrication and cleaning and exploded parts diagram. So if you're missing a part, you can correlate that to a number and order that part where it corresponds to a number. I don't think correlate's the right word for that. Anyway, looks like we have some parts here. A parts bag is included, and when you slide this out of the plastic, you got soft plastic wrapping it and very finely detailed antenna. And let's get the rest of the stuff out and take a closer look. There's the SP in all its glory, and you start off with these lights here. You've got light packages, both the headlight and the light above. Classification lights, number boards, and the number boards are blank on this, and then you've got the number below. Ladders on each side of the nose. We'll go in even further so you can see that better. The anti-climber with a drop step here in between the two stanchions, and that is posable up or down. You've got a Walthers Proto Max coupler with the magnetic glad hand, accessory hoses, and brake line hose tucked behind this step here. As we go off to the side, you see radio equipped there on the side, which is well known on a lot of the SP's schemes. It has a radio equipped little lightning bolt logo. Got the horn, antenna, sunshade, cab windows, road number down below. There's some detail on the trucks as we zoom in too, as you can see. Truck cylinders. You've also got air reservoirs here. Fuel tank split into two areas for the fuel tank. And emergency shutoff for the fuel tank, Southern Pacific along the side, as well as all of that compartment detail, warning labeling, etc. And you can see on the back that there's a radiator fan grills and another high mounted light there above the headlight. Radiator fans up top, and below you've got your stanchions and your crew access walkways that are tread plated. Another drop step on the rear. Zoom out slightly so you can see that a little better. And more of the detail that we've already covered repeating itself on the rear. You can see the handrails are pretty straight on these. That's good. The handrail protection helps with that. And going up the other side, more of the same, including steps and crew access for the cab. And speaking of cab, you do have crew cab figures installed on the locomotive. Also separately applied grabs you can see, and some other fine detail on the roof. As you zoom in, you can see a lot of finely applied detail. Even the lift rings As you can see, circular areas there. Those are lift rings that are very, very finely applied. As we check the weight on this, total of 434 grams. That's almost a pound, 15.3 ounces. So very close to a pound there. As you can see, almost there. Pretty good for such a short locomotive. Should equate to some pretty decent pulling power. All right, coupler height is lined up here. Just going to move this ever so slightly. Appears to be dead on the rear. And on the front, also appears to be dead on. We'll go ahead and couple it. So you can see that is in fact on point, and the wheel sets were NMRA compliant too, so completely NMRA compliant locomotive is rare these days, especially with that coupler height that can trick a lot of people up. It's usually high or low, but this is completely NMRA compliant. Do a pull test on this without any noise. Sound on anyway. It's looking like 2 point, let's see, you just peaked it over 3. So we'll call it about 45 to 50 cars this can pull. Going to check slow speed control at 1 out of 128 speed steps here. On the AccuTrack 2 speedometer, status light is blinking down by kilometers per hour, but that is set to HO scale and miles per hour, so you will have a correct reading on this. Looks like we are 0.9 scale miles per hour, so almost 1 scale mile per hour per speed step, so very, very good. Look how smooth that is as well. You don't see a lot of lurch at 1 speed step. It's moving along very, very smoothly. Okay, let's listen to some sounds by firing up the locomotive again with F8. And we'll go through some lighting features in the dark, but right now we'll do the bell. Horn. Please coupler crash. For dynamic brake, usually you have to get moving to here. Here's a slight whine there for the dynamic brake. 5 is listed as warning light. That's the upper light. We'll look at that in the dark a little better. 6 ditch lights, which are not equipped on this. It's just number board lights. 7 manual compressor. 8 prime mover. Start up and shut down, which we've already done. 9 is drive hold, or if you're moving the locomotive at a certain speed and you hit F9, then your throttle becomes a prime mover notch up and notch down situation where the actual speed won't change, but the prime mover will change. 10's independent brake, and 11 is listed as auxiliary light. So I think that is all of the features of the locomotive in terms of sound. One thing you'll notice about the model is the number boards are blank. I've compared this to any SD9 photos I can find. I can't find any of 5371, so I can't say for sure if 5371 had blank number boards, but I did look and see that Walthers artwork and other photos had blank number boards, so that appears to be an intentional move. So just something you should be aware of, that this model does have blank number boards without the road number applied. Here's a quick view in the dark. You've got headlight that you can see fade in and out there on F0, warning light F5. I'm just going off what the manual's calling this. If it's something different, then USP modelers would know. But there's 5 off and 0 off. So 0 has that fade in, fade out effect. You have number board lights, which are listed as ditch lights in this situation. So those are your number boards. And there's also an auxiliary light listed at 11, but I'm not seeing anything illuminate with that, so I don't know if that's actually something that's supposed to be. So not seeing it at all on 11, so I believe that wraps up the lighting functions. Well, that's going to wrap up the look of this Walthers SD9 in SP scheme. Beautiful locomotive with finely applied details, especially like that antenna up top, but yet pretty durable. You've got your high mounted warning lights, I guess they're called. So smooth operation, love ESU LOKSound. I think the detail and durability is a nice balance, and no issues out the gate on this, and fully NMRA compliant. So I think we've got a great locomotive. I'm going to leave you with a run by right now. We'll see you next time right here on the channel. Take care.